Hey guys, and we're now back with some more point and click adventures games. So we're playing Whispers of a Machine, which is another good one to play. I think it's on like my list of point and clicks that I would definitely recommend playing. So, so we were a little bit delayed in starting because just as I was like getting ready to set up, as I moved my boom arm, I realised that it wasn't actually screwed in properly and came out. So I was like, oh, I need to fix that. So yeah. God damn it, people. Ah, Scumbucket. Thank you.
But I've just made a deal that will keep the bill collectors out of here.
And how are you doing, Scumbucket? Alright, let's get started, shall we? Oh yeah, apart from the beam arm, I'm doing good. So now I played this game like once, and the decisions you make does affect how the game plays in a sense. Like I think there's 3 different routes you can go. I'll explain after this bit.
What's with the gloomy look? Left someone dear behind?
Yeah. You could say that.
Been there. So, Nord Sunday. You better buckle up. We've got some nasty weather coming in.
I heard. Sadly, caring about storms is a luxury people in my line of work are rarely afforded.
Oh, and what kind of work is that?
Special Agent, Violent Crimes. Central Bureau.
Well, shit.
I think the paths are like you got one about being sneaky, one like empathy, and one to do with like more strength wise or something. Like it's this thing down here.
This is a restricted crime scene.
At ease, Constable. Special Agent Englund here.
Oh, my apologies, Agent. I was expecting someone older.
I'll take that as a compliment. Now, brief me, please.
Certainly, ma'am. The victim is Carl Oscarson, age 33, stabbed to death by an unknown assailant. He worked here as a carpenter and was found early this morning by a coworker who's sitting over there by the window.
Got it.
Here we go. Let's see. Empathy, assertive, and analytical. These are like different ways you can go, and I think depending on which one you lean towards more depends on what extra powers you unlock as you go along.
Sorry about the state of the crime scene. We're not used to this sort of thing.
Evidently. This entire room should have been evacuated. Staying clear of the body would have decreased the risk of contaminating evidence.
Yeah, maybe we should have established a wider perimeter.
Yes, I would highly advise that for next time.
Got it. I'll strive to do better in the future.
Good to hear. Now, give me a second while I examine the body.
Sure, I'll be here. So, is this where you use your X-ray vision?
My what?
Come on, you have to be aware of the rumors. How agents like you are supposed to be equipped with some kind of advanced cybernetics.
The Central Bureau has a strict no-comment policy on those types of inquiries.
I bet it does. Well, let's carry on.
So it's got one of those like hint things, I guess, and so you can do like, oh look, this is what we can click on, which is good.
Okay, that must be Carl's locker. Post-mortem, huh? That would suggest that he likely only touched the body after death. I should finish examining the body. Alright, we've got multiple knife-sized stab wounds to the chest. I don't see a murder weapon, so I take it none was found at the scene?
That's right. All knives and sharp tools in the building have been accounted for, too.
It looks like the victim was attacked directly from the front. I don't see any major defense wounds, so this was either a surprise attack, or the victim knew the perpetrator. What about any potential suspects, Constable? Did Carl have enemies?
None as far as we know. He seemed to be well liked among the guys here, but the man who found him might know more.
There was a photo in his chest pocket. It's a bloody photograph of Carl and a young woman, taken fairly recently by the look of it. He's holding hands with the woman, but I can't discern her face. Too much damage to the photo. She's wearing a brass necklace. Could be relevant. My picture of Alex. I miss him. My service pistol. It fires conventional projectiles using magnetic propulsion. It's loaded with 600 rounds of compressed alloy ammunition. The battery's the limiting factor, lasting for about 80 shots in quick succession. The reason I'm here. I need to gather as much evidence as possible and try to get some kind of lead on the killer. Carl Oscarson, murdered at age 33. He had a job as a carpenter in the Nordson workshop hall. Constable.
Yes, Agent.
Do you know who the woman in this photo is?
Too hard to tell. Sorry.
Okay, that's all I need for now.
Very well, Agent.
Hey there. What's your name?
I'm Alfred, Carl's friend. Well, we were friends. Now he's gone.
Are you doing okay? Do you have somebody to talk to after this?
I'll be okay. Please just ask your questions so I can go home.
Why don't you tell me about what happened this morning?
Okay. I get up early from my morning smoke. I keep my smokes in my locker, so I came in here. I saw Carl lying in the corner. It was still kind of dark, so I thought he'd fallen and hurt himself. I ran over to him. That's when I noticed the blood, and I guess I was kind of in shock, so I tried to stop the bleeding, but then I felt how cold he was. I yelled for help. The guys came running, and then Josef, our foreman, sent someone to go get the police.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Carl alive?
Late last night, around midnight. He stayed up with us playing cards, which is unusual.
Unusual? How so?
Well, it was rare for Carl to stick around in the evenings. He usually went out by himself.
Oh. Do you know where he used to go?
No idea. He didn't talk much about that. Maybe he went to the canteen to meet some friends. Anyway, Carl seemed a bit anxious last night. He seemed distracted.
Got it. Thanks for the info. Can you tell me a little bit about Carl?
Sure. I've known him since I started working here 4 years ago. We instantly hit it off. He had a great sense of humor. He used to be so cheerful, you know? Always kidding around, always with a smile on his face. But then about a year ago, something happened. He became absent-minded and humorless. I know people can change, but this came seemingly from nowhere.
Huh. What do you think caused this shift?
No idea. Whatever it was, he wouldn't confide in me about it.
Have a look at this picture. Do you know who the woman is?
Yeah, that's just some old girlfriend of Carl's from ages ago.
Is that so? It doesn't look that old. At least Carl looks about the same.
Guess the guy aged well. Any other questions?
Are you sure about this woman?
Yes, I told you, old girlfriend from before.
You're lying to my face. If this attitude of yours doesn't change, the gloves will come off. I'm a patient woman, but I will only accept your full cooperation. I'll do what I need to do to bring justice to a murder victim.
I'm sorry. I gave him a promise. Well, the lady in the photo, Carl is still seeing her. Well, was, I suppose.
Why wouldn't you tell me that from the beginning?
It was a secret. Carl said they would both get in trouble if anybody knew.
Why would they get into trouble? An affair?
I didn't ask, but yeah, it could be.
All right. Tell me everything you know about this woman.
Carl said she lived somewhere north of town, but that's all I know.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay.
That's enough questions for now.
Okay.
Locked. Doesn't look incredibly strong, though. I might be able to get it open with enough force.
Geez, try not to wreck the place.
No reason for alarm. I just needed to get this locker open.
That power, I was like,
There was
whoosh.
a piece of paper in one of the inner pockets. I've looked there already. A pair of large boots with dirt under them. I could go and follow up on the saffron lead now, but I should check out the dormitory first. Looks pre-collapse, basically a glorified corner lamp. There's a coin slot on the side with a coin stuck in it. I can probably pull it out using some extra strength. Got the coin. It's an old pre-collapse coin. No one would accept it as payment today. Hey, I'm gonna go check out the dorm. Where's Carl's bed?
Turn left and then go straight. I left the light on so it'd be easy for you to find.
Gotcha. Be right back. Huh. There are a lot of prints around a panel on the air duct. Pens and paper. Nothing out of the ordinary. Dirty laundry. Smells like machine oil.
Eek.
The panel is screwed on tight. I'll need some way of getting it loose. It's an old pre-collapse. There was a small key hidden inside the duct. I think I'm almost done here. I should just talk to the constable before I go. A small, unique-looking key. The note looks like it was written by a woman. It reads, "Hi, doofus. You're registered now. Go try it out. Remember how you totally flipped the day I first came to Nordsund? Kisses." Hey, I think I'm done here.
Oh, okay. Mind sharing your findings?
It seems like the murder could be tied to a secret relationship Carl had with a woman. But I'm leaving all options open.
Sounds reasonable. Do you have a lead to follow up on?
Yes, I have reason to believe that Carl recently passed through an area with saffron plants somewhere in Nordsund. Maybe I can correlate that with Carl's movements to the north of town when seeing that woman.
Good. Meanwhile, we'll transport the body to the morgue and have an autopsy performed as soon as possible. Do you want us to keep the area sealed off?
No need. I'm done here and won't come back. You can let the men get back to work.
Very well. I'll let them know.
By the way, how do I get to the police station from here?
Just head straight east outside. You'll see it.
Got it. See you later. I don't need to go down to the ground right now. Hey, what's happening here?
Bit of an electrical problem with some fallen power lines. It's being taken care of, but it'll be a while.
So I can't enter the museum?
Well, you can, but only if electrocution is something you enjoy during working hours.
What caused it? Did someone mess up, or was there some kind of environmental damage?
Oh, we've had a windy week. An old tree fell down and ripped down a major power line. It's in a tricky spot, and due to how the grid is built up, I can't cut the power safely without affecting half the town.
Sounds like a flawed design. Is that typical for electrical grids these days?
Not really. This power grid is quite old, constructed shortly after the collapse. That meant they had to improvise. They couldn't just clone existing power systems at the time, since those were reliant on service robots with negligible safety concerns. So yeah, now I'm paying the price. The whole thing is riddled with hacks and workarounds, each one more dangerous than the next.
I see. I don't envy such a hazardous work environment. How long will it take you to fix?
Hard to say, but it should be done by tomorrow morning.
All right, thanks. Hello, Deputy. What are you guarding?
The residence of the first murder victim. The commissary told me to direct you to his office before going upstairs.
I see. I'll go find him and come back later then.
Sounds good, Agent.
All right, so this is the town square. That building with the emblem must be the police station.
I'm surprised the Bureau got their thumb out of their ass. It's not like they could find Nordson on a map.
I, for one, am grateful for their help. From what I hear, the person they sent is young, but quite capable.
Optimistic as always, eh, Kurt? I guess we'll see. Agent Anglin, we've been expecting you.
Councilwoman, I was told you'd be my bureau contact here.
That's correct. I'm Stina Ruth, and this here is Kurt Anderson, police commissary.
Welcome, Agent. Enjoy your trip to the middle of nowhere?
It was a bit bumpy, and way longer than I expected.
Yeah, that train has seen better days. You'll find your luggage in your quarters, just through the door behind me.
Thanks. I'll check it out later.
So, you were probably confused as hell when we sent you straight to a crime scene, right?
Kind of. I thought I was supposed to investigate a murder from last week.
You were, but unfortunately a second killing required your urgent attention. I assume there is some bureau procedures before I brief Agent England about the situation?
Yes. Why don't you head to your office, and I'll send this youngling on her merry way when we're done.
Very well. It was a pleasure to meet you, Agent.
Likewise. I'm a bit confused here. Who do I report to?
Only to me as overseer of this district. The local police are at your disposal since they're legally required to aid you in the investigation.
Got it. How would you like me to share my findings with you?
Face to face, in the evenings. The balcony inside the local canteen is a good place to meet.
Okay. I think I have what I need then. I'll go talk to the commissary.
Good. We'll catch up later. Oh, but I have to ask. Tell me, how was it for you?
What do you mean?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. We've both done it.
Oh, you mean You mean the augmentation? The nanofluid injection?
Sticking to the boring scientific terms, aren't we? Back in my time, we used to just call it taking the blue. Come on, let this old lady live a little. Tell me, how was your first kiss with the blue?
A sense of enlightenment and acute awareness washed over me. A crystal clear lucidity I had never felt before.
I remember that moment like it was yesterday. What I wouldn't give to feel like that again. No side effects, I hope? We wouldn't want you to get compromised in dangerous situations.
Not yet, but I know what to look out for. Mild hallucinations, nightmares, burning sensations in the limbs, the occasional migraine. Things like that.
Yeah, that covers the usual suspects. All right, I think you're good to go then. We shouldn't keep the commissary waiting.
All right, Agent. Would you like me to brief you about the first murder?
Yes, please.
Maya Strand, 41 years old, the caretaker of the Nordson Museum. She was found by the janitor on the floor near the exhibits early last Wednesday. Just like Carl, she was stabbed. No witnesses, no evidence. Killer practically a ghost. No signs of a forced entry, so either the entrance was open or she let him in herself.
What about her residence? Anything out of the ordinary in there?
Nothing, as far as we could tell. But we left the place as we found it if you want to have a look. She lived upstairs from the museum.
Noted. The crime scene is no longer intact, though, correct?
Afraid so. The museum is important to Nordson, so we had the place cleaned out pretty quickly.
Sorry to hear that. I guess bureaucrats messing up police work isn't just a city problem, huh?
You have no idea. Sometimes I feel like I'm spending half my time arguing with those fools.
One more thing. I'd like to see Maya's body, if that's possible.
Of course. We brought it out of the freezer this morning. You'll find it in the morgue, over at the clinic. Dr. Pearson, our physician, is awaiting your arrival.
Good. I'll head there when we're done.
Okay, so...
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
I wouldn't say so. He and my son were playmates as children, but they grew apart in their teens. Haven't talked to Carl myself for many years.
I'm looking for a young woman connected to the second victim, Carl.
All right. What do you know about her?
All I have is a picture of her that I found on Carl, but it's damaged and her face can't be clearly seen.
Tricky. If you had any kind of personal information, like an address, you could look her up in our records. They're in the drawers behind me.
Noted. I'll get back to you about this if I learn more. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Me? Oh, I've been doing this job for 15 years now. I took over when the previous commissary died. I'm married with 3 children. Anita, my youngest, is off studying science in the city now. We're counting the days to Christmas when she comes back to visit.
What's your opinion on Stina Ruth?
I respect her. She's a competent politician. She gets things done, unlike some of the other people on the council. Sure, she has a temper, and she's not the most tactful person, but she calls out bullshit when she sees it. When I'm right, she has my back, and when I'm wrong, well, she won't let me revel in my sweet ignorance for long.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not at all. Museums aren't my cup of tea. I prefer to not dwell on the past.
What do you know about the murder in the locker room over at the workshop hall?
Not much. As you know, the murder happened shortly before you arrived, so I'm leaving the matter in your capable hands.
Do you know if saffron is grown anywhere in Nordsund?
I think so, yes. There should be someone in town with more information.
Do you know who the woman in this picture is?
No idea, sorry.
What do you make of this?
Not sure, but if you need to know when somebody came to town, I'd suggest looking in the citizens' records behind me.
Right. I might do that if I could figure out who wrote this note. Any idea of what this opens?
Nope, not a clue.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
Looks like a logbook. Maybe Anderson records his daily work there. A collection of what seems to be both fiction and books on law and social sciences. If that's all Anderson's, he's quite well read. The drawer is labeled Address Records. These should come in handy. I'll be able to match a name to an address, or vice versa. Let's have a look.
Hey, Mary, how you doing?
As expected, nothing new. Not a bad idea, but I'll need a name first. I don't think I need to look him up. I don't think I need to look her up. Yeah, this just confirms what Anderson told me. I don't need to look. Nice big lemon. Small miracle to see it grow to that size under these conditions. No, I'm not tired.
Did you see any that you liked?
Looks purely decorative. Doesn't appear to be functional. There's not even a switch or anything. Maybe later. I'm not that hungry.
Ooh. Which one is that?
A thermos, presumably filled with coffee.
Oh yeah, that one's a good one as well, yeah. I've seen some gameplay to that one, it's pretty good.
Damn good coffee. It's a map of Nordsund. Looks like the center of the disk is hollow. Curious. An anatomically correct gentleman.
A need, a guilty pleasure, something frightening.
Excuse me?
Humor me. I need some inspiration for my poem.
Oh, I get it. What was it again?
A need, a guilty pleasure, something frightening.
Trust, eavesdropping, loneliness.
Thank you.
So, you have a poem for me now?
I'll need some time. Come find me later.
Okay, so this one's called Whispers of a Machine. So you're basically a bureau detective who's been sent to this area to figure out what's going on because there's like been 2 murders. When you were asked to come here, there'd only been 1, and now there's been 2 just before you arrived. So you've got to investigate and find out what's going on and who's killing who.
Howdy, Pilgrim, and welcome to Volter's Bot Emporium. Novelty bionics, pet androids, robotic companions, we've got them all.
Hi there. I'm Special Agent Vera Anglin.
Ooh, here to solve the murders, right? What? Did Pop spill some oil when he lubed my joints this morning? I told you to keep my chassis clean in case of chicks.
For crying out loud, Nissa, just let the police lady ask her questions.
Oh, great. A ventriloquist act.
Oh no, she's on to us.
Oi! You caught me! The man with the blue hat is just a puppet that I'm cunningly controlling with this set of strings.
That's a gosh darn lie. I'm fully steam-powered.
This is inappropriate behavior, citizen. I have some questions about the recent murders.
Sure thing, officer. Just keep in mind that all of these are just harmless automatons. There's no real CPUs or nothing around here.
I'm not here to report illicit technology. I'm just interested in the killings.
All right, then shoot. Ask away.
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
Yeah, friendly guy. Came here buying spare parts every now and then.
Spare parts? Like what?
All sorts. Filters, tubes, nuts and bolts, various electrical gizmos.
Any idea what the parts were for?
Couldn't say, but I'm pretty sure whatever it was, it had fluid in it. Maybe a water filtering system, a pump, something like that.
All those parts laying around, but do I ever get a working left arm, Pops? No, you'd rather let some carpenter assemble a goddamn aquarium.
I could replace Mr. Limpy with a water gun if you prefer.
Man, soon you'll even let the kids paint a clown face on me again.
With a water gun for an arm, at least you could spray yourself clean afterwards.
Do you know anything about a woman who is seeing Carl Oscarson?
Nope, I hardly even knew the guy.
What's your opinion on Anderson, the police commissary?
Seems like a reasonable man to me. But then again, I tend not to be involved in, crime.
Yeah, right.
Hush, boy.
What's your opinion on Stina Ruth, the councilwoman?
A politician? Me and those kinds of people run in quite different circles, to say the least.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Yep, I work with her from time to time. Some of my handiwork can be seen in her exhibitions.
Ah, they got some robots in there.
Yeah, I assembled them from parts I found in the junkyard. Or the bot cemetery, as I like to call it. Sometimes I feel more like an archaeologist than a mechanic.
Got it. So, do you have any idea who killed Maya?
Ooh, I got a theory.
No, Nissa, it wasn't the big war robot in the main exhibition.
Why not? That thing is huge. It could easily rip people to pieces, or buildings for that matter.
I know because I built it, Nissa. It's totally harmless.
I don't buy it, Pops. It's got red eyes. That's a telltale sign of a bot turned evil.
What I wanted to say was that Maya could be a little odd, but I have no reason to believe anyone would want to kill her.
Pops calling others odd. Now that's a joke that requires no punchline.
Walter, try to focus on the subject matter, please. So, what can you tell me about yourself?
Me? Oh, well, what you see is what you get.
A crazy old fart with chronic coffee breath?
Oh, quiet, you little rascal. What I am is a tinkerer, a craftsman, a father of machines. I cherish building them. I adore putting them on display, and I especially love talking to them.
I've noticed. So how long have you been building robots?
Oh, ever since I was a boy. I grew up over at the junkyard. The place was cramped with old discarded robots. I didn't have many friends, you see. So, I decided to befriend these machines instead.
Okay, so let's what else is. We asked him about the
Do you happen to
saffron.
know where saffron is grown in Nordsund?
No clue. Ask Rolf, maybe.
Who's that?
The gardener head honcho. He's usually out and about somewhere in town.
Ah, okay. I'll go look for him later. Any idea what this key opens?
Sure. I saw a small safe in the junk with a key just like it a while back. It disappeared later.
Good to know. Thanks. What do you make of this?
No clue. But I gotta use doofus more often. Such a funny word.
Do you recognize this young couple?
Just the man, Carl Oscarson. Can't see who his lady friend is.
I'm off. See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye, police lady.
Nice, soothing sounds. Nice spot there next to the wind chimes, but I don't feel like sitting down. Looks like an apartment building. I don't have any reason to go up there. I don't think I should go further north for the time being. Sure, Carl's mystery woman likely lives up there, but I need more to go on. I don't have any business in the school. Hi there.
Hello.
Thought I'd introduce myself, since I'll be coming here a lot. I'm Agent England, Central Bureau.
Oh, nice to meet you. It's a relief to have you here. We're all shook by these recent killings. Sure, the doctor's excited, but even his morbid curiosity has limits, you know. After all, we mostly treat coughs and the occasional broken limb here.
I get it. I'll do my best to help. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to go to the morgue. Where's that?
Down the stairs on your left.
Great, thanks.
So, down this way, yeah.
Don't worry, Maya. You'll be put to rest soon. I know. Sorry about the delay. I was needed urgently out of town. Oh, hello there. Me and this old gal have been expecting you.
Talkative, is she?
Oh, no doubt. The dead have a lot to say, you know. Sometimes more so than the living.
Is that so?
The living are fickle and prone to deceit. Once dead, we can't hide things anymore. Not from me, at least.
I agree. These days, people must prove themselves trustworthy before I rely on them.
Now that's an attitude I can get behind.
Now, I'd like to ask some questions.
Sure, go right ahead.
Any theories on Carl's murder?
Not yet. I'll need to see the body first.
Do you know where saffron is grown in Nordsund?
I'm afraid not. We have plants all over, but botany is not my area of expertise.
What are your conclusions about Maya's murder?
Most obvious first. The cause of death is acute blood loss due to the multiple stab wounds to the chest and stomach, 2 of which were lethal. The murder weapon is a mid-sized blade, likely a knife of some kind. There are some defense wounds on her arms, so the victim likely tried to shield herself against her assailant. I couldn't recover any biological traces of the murderer. There's no blood on her that isn't hers, or any traces of skin under her nails. This makes me suspect that the killer likely wore protective clothing and gloves. The time of death was roughly 2300 hours last Tuesday, 5 days ago today.
Did you know Carl Oscarson?
No. When I heard he was murdered, I didn't even recognize his name. I had to check my records to realize that I've treated him. To be fair, I've had many patients. But he must have been cursed with one of those awfully forgettable faces.
All right. Anything out of the ordinary in his medical history?
Sorry. Can't go into detail. Doctor-patient confidentiality, you know?
Keep it vague, then.
Well, okay. Let me put it this way. I doubt you'd learn much from his file.
Noted. Thanks. I'm looking for a young woman connected to the second victim, Carl.
I can't help with that. I didn't know Carl on a personal level.
What do you think of Commissary Anderson?
I think he does a fine job. He's been instrumental in making sure that I can work under such good conditions.
Yeah, this place is surprisingly well equipped. Definitely on par with our facilities in the city. What do you think of Stina Ruth, the councilwoman?
She can be quite an unpleasant woman. I can't say I've enjoyed my few interactions with her.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not really, but I enjoyed listening to the occasional lecture of hers at the museum. She had quite an intellect, that woman.
So she wasn't a patient of yours?
Oh, she was, but that's all confidential, so I can't say much about it.
I understand, but anything you can share would help.
Well, during the autopsy I noticed that she was unusually worn and feeble for her age.
Okay, and what does that tell us?
For one thing, that she would have needed help with the more physically demanding tasks of the museum.
Got it. Thanks. What's your opinion on Volter, the robot maker?
Oh, he's a bundle of laughs, isn't he? Sometimes he helps me out at the
Consider.
clinic when I need to calm down an anxious child. Nissa, his little robot, is an amazing tool. First, the child helps me treat Nissa, and afterwards, I treat the child. Seeing the whole process in a safe and playful space makes them much more at ease.
What can you tell me about yourself, Doctor?
Oh, me? I suppose I would qualify as a workaholic. Most of my time is spent here.
So how long have you been practicing medicine?
Must be 16 years now, I believe.
Huh. And you're the only doctor in Nordsund?
Yes, but we have good relations with the other settlements. We collaborate and pool resources when necessary.
Do you know what this opens?
Not a clue, but it looks like a one-of-a-kind key.
What do you make of this?
The handwriting looks feminine, but I'm not sure what to make of the contents.
Do you recognize this couple?
The man is clearly the second victim, Carl. As for the woman, it's too hard to tell given the damage to the photo.
That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie. Oh, one last thing. I've been told that the second body is on its way here. If you come back later today, I should be able to tell you something about it.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, so it's the same weapon was used.
Multiple stab wounds, sizes approximately the same as the other body. I'd say the MO looks similar to the other murder. This might be useful. I suppose that's where the doctor writes down his autopsy reports. I think that's for collecting the ashes after a cremation. Appears to be a small crematory. One last waiting room before the final embrace with the earth. Unused bandages. Would come in handy in a pinch. It's filled with cannulas, those little needle things used to connect an IV. I don't think I need one right now. A portable medical kit with all the essentials. Various medical supplies.
I did no such thing, scumbag. I borrowed the scalpel. How about that? I'm just borrowing it. I'll bring it back.
Weekend's coming up. Great, huh?
Looks like you've got a head start.
All shoes repaired, all coats patched up. That's when you call it a day. Finish your work fast and you get the best food rations. Oldest trick in the book.
I get it. Well, enjoy your time off.
Gotta rest my mind, stranger. Have a long weekend shift ahead of me.
No problem. Enjoy the rest of your time off. Looks like it's filled with different kinds of spare parts. Robot? Drilling machine? Space rocket? I have no idea, honestly. Various handbooks for the typical day-to-day stuff. Looks like an old filing cabinet. Not sure what it's used for. A neat stack of plates. Matching cutlery is nowhere to be seen. A few identical coffee cups. They don't look quite as clean as they should be. 3 plastic trays. Good number. I think they deliver groceries through there. Looks a bit overgrown. Could use some trimming. Great view from up here. Old Norse runes. A local custom, perhaps? Haven't seen them in any other settlements in the area. That's some strong stuff he's smoking, whatever it is. Hey, I'm Vera Englund, Special Agent.
Oh, I heard about you. I'm Rolf, the plant master of Nordsund.
A plant master? What's that?
A foreman of sorts. I oversee a team of gardeners who tend to our shared crops.
Got it. I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
Sure, go right ahead.
What do you know about the murder of Carl Oscarson?
Almost nothing. I just heard half an hour ago. Damn shame.
What do you know about the murder in the museum?
Nothing but the talk of the town. That Maya Strand was stabbed by some maniac.
Do you happen to know where saffron is grown in Nordsund?
Perhaps, perhaps. What would this gentleman have to gain from that piece of information?
Please, now is not the time. Don't you want justice for the 2 murder victims?
Man, here comes the guilt trip. I suppose those poor people deserved better. Now, 2 places come to mind. The greenhouses to the south, and a few crops near Mimir Road.
Mimir Road? Where's that?
North of the town square. Look for 2 large farming robots standing around.
All right, got it. Did you know Carl Oscarson?
Not really. But like many other people, we had some contact in our work.
Okay. What was your impression of him?
Nice guy. Too nice. I'd even go so far as to call him gullible. Wouldn't be surprised if that's what got him killed.
That's so. You think he trusted the wrong person?
I'm just thinking out loud here. But yeah, it wouldn't be a shocker.
I'm trying to find a woman that Carl Oscarson was involved with. Know anything about that?
No, I don't stay updated on gossip like that.
What's your opinion on Commissary Anderson?
For a chief of police, he's all right. He's actually fair. Unlike some of his underlings.
How so? You think they're harassing you?
Abso-friggin-lutely. One little mistake, those guys start hounding you night and day.
What do you think of Stina Ruth?
I have no idea who that is.
Did you know Maya Strand?
A bit. She approached me a few months back about refining edible plants into a nutrient paste. I helped her plant some quality fungi for it, in exchange for a cut of the harvest. Then she got herself killed, so I guess all of that was a waste of time.
That's a morbid way of looking at it.
I guess so. I'm sorry about what happened to her, but I still gotta eat.
What do you think of Walter?
He's kind of a loon, isn't he? And coming from me, that's saying a lot.
What do you think of Dr. Pearson?
I'm trying to stay far away from that wisecracking quack.
Quack?
You heard me. All I need in terms of medicine, I find in herbs and plants.
And Dr. Pearson doesn't take kindly to that?
He should mind his own business is all.
What do you make of this?
Not sure. But about the first day I came to Nordsund, I think the police have records of when people come and go.
Ah, might be worth a follow-up. Thanks. Do you know who these people are?
Damn, that's bloody. Looks like Carl Oscarson, but I couldn't say who the woman is.
Any idea of what this opens?
Not a clue.
Okay, that's all I need.
Alrighty, see you around.
At least I've got reason to go up this way, so that's good.
All right, This is Mimir Road. Carl came through here recently.
Oh, that's what goes up here, doesn't it? Okay, so...
Not sure what those are. Doesn't look like tomatoes, at least. I'd say those are saffron crocuses. Lettuce, carrots, and something else. Replica of prospecting, surveying, and defense robot. Courtesy of Nordson Museum. Replica of multi-purpose cultivation robot. Courtesy of Nordson Museum. More runes. Seems to be a common thing in Nordsund. There are many entrances around here. I need something to go on before I consider going
we saw the
inside.
footprints.
The boot prints lead up this set of stairs. I should head up and have a look. Oh, this floor sure looks squeaky clean.
It better. We spent all yesterday mopping it. Wiped all the doors, too.
Oh, just my luck.
Well, are you fond of filth or something?
No, but filth contains valuable information for a detective.
Oh, I understand. Let me know if I can be of service.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
I'm Special Agent England, here to investigate the recent murders. I need to ask you a few questions.
Okay, I'm Sven, the caretaker of this apartment block here. What can I help you with?
Do you know anything about the recent murder of a man named Carl?
Nope. As far as I know, no Carl lives here.
What about frequent visitors?
Maybe. Haven't heard the name Carl, but then again, I don't socialize with the tenants. I might recognize the man if I saw him.
Do you recognize this young couple?
Oh, right, that fella.
You know him?
Yeah, I remember him. Most people just ignore me, but he always says hi. Nice guy.
How often would you say he was here?
At least on a weekly basis, but I work in many other buildings too, so it's hard to say.
Got it. What can you tell me about him?
Just this one thing. He came up to me and asked about the electricity in apartment 113. He wondered if it was possible to get more power.
Odd. Did he say what for?
No. I told him to take it up with the residential office. There are strict quotas. He said he would bring it up with the tenant, a friend of his.
Okay. Do you know anything about the tenant?
Nope. Discreet, whoever it is. No idea who lives there.
Understood. Where can I find apartment 113 exactly?
It's on this floor, just around the corner.
All right, thanks. Do you know Dr. Pearson?
Yeah, everybody knows Doc Pearson. Kind of bookish, but I like his sense of humor. Dark and twisted, my cup of tea.
What do you think of Walter?
Funny guy. I see him regularly in my work, and he always finds a new way to crack me up.
What can you tell me about Maya Strand?
We were acquaintances. I'd been helping her with repairs in the museum every now and then.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her?
A few weeks ago. I was supposed to fix a showcase for her. Odd thing, though.
Yeah?
I saw her enter the museum from afar, but when I followed her inside, I couldn't find her. So I left the building, and then she came out the same way I did, acting all surprised, saying she'd been in there the whole time.
Strange. Do you know anything about Councilwoman Ruth?
She doesn't mince her words, that one. Some people take an issue with that, but I think it's refreshing. I heard she used to be a Central Bureau agent. Apparently she got her position here as some kind of retirement package.
What's your opinion on Commissary Anderson?
He's all right. A diplomat, I've heard. It believes in dialogue.
Do you know a certain Carl Oscarson?
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Do you know anything about the murder at the museum?
Nothing but common knowledge. I haven't been in that part of town for a while. A shame what happened to Maya, though. She always seemed like a harmless lady to me. Can't imagine who'd want to kill her.
What do you think of this?
Looks intentionally vague, like they didn't want the wrong person to accidentally read it.
Yeah, that's my guess too. Any idea of what it means?
Not really, sorry.
Would you happen to know where a key like this might fit?
Looks special. Some custom-built box or something, maybe?
Maybe. Thanks. Thanks. You can get back to work.
Alrighty.
Nothing. Guess no one's home. Locked. Hey, Sven?
Yeah?
I need to get inside apartment 113. Can you help?
Sure, you can borrow this master key. Don't leave with it, though. I'll need it later.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. You can get back to work.
Alrighty.
It's the master key. No use. It... Huh. Hey, Sven?
Yeah?
Hey, I used the master key and some kind of electronic code lock on the side lit up.
That's weird. Those pre-collapse gizmos are supposed to be disconnected. Surprised they even work.
Wait, so the occupant turned it on without telling you?
I guess so, yeah. They must have some technical expertise. I don't even know how those things work myself.
Can't you force it open? Disconnect it, use an override code or something?
No way. Those things go way over my head. I'd say your best bet is cracking the code.
Okay.
Thanks. You can get back to work.
Alrighty.
Here's your key back. Thanks for lending it to me.
You're welcome. Happy to help.
Katarina Berg. Born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson for 2 years. I copied the information onto a loose page from my notebook. I don't think I need to look him up. I don't think I need to look him up. No need to do that. Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson for 2 years.
Hey, I help. How you doing? Rah. I'm doing good. Doing real good. Okay, so if I remember right, the handwritten note said to flip the thingy, so it was 8, 3, 1. No?
Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson for 2 years.
So it was the day that she came here, wasn't that what it said?
Hi, doofus. You're registered now. Go try it out. Remember how you totally flipped the day I first came to Nordson? Kisses. Katarina Berg, born February 2nd, 56 AR. Immigrated to Nordson on May 13th, 80 AR, which means she's been in Nordson
Oh,
for
so
2 years.
315. Okay, yeah.
Wow, a code and a fingerprint?
Okay, so we need a
These people
fingerprint
have
too.
absurd safety concerns.
And I remember there's 2 ways to get the fingerprint. That is one of the ways, yeah. There is another way to do it, but I don't think I've got the item for it. I can't remember where you get it from. Somewhere.
There's a bottle of molding resin here.
There we go.
Might be useful. I already examined the body at the crime scene. Nothing new comes to mind. I had some more things to ask.
Shoot.
What are your conclusions about Carl's murder?
Just like the previous case, the cause of death is blood loss due to sharp force trauma to the upper body. The murder weapon looks similar to the one used on the previous victim. The victim has a bruised chest, likely from the impact of a hard fall to the floor. And this makes me believe that Carl was attacked from the front and fell to the ground, twisting as he fell. The killer then continued this brutal onslaught from behind to finish the job. Contrary to the previous case, I couldn't find any defense wounds on the victim. The killer would have to be both strong and fast to overpower Carl like that before he could react and call for help. It's certainly not impossible, but I think it's unlikely that a woman could pull that off without considerable training. This leads me to believe that the person we are looking for is likely an adult male in good physical shape. The time of death was sometime late last night, around 10 to 12 hours ago.
All right, now that you've seen both bodies, do you have a theory?
I think it's very likely that a single perpetrator is responsible for both killings. The MO is the same, and the murder weapons share close similarities. Both murders were premeditated. The killer came well prepared with the clear goal of killing each victim. The lack of struggle during the second attack could be an indication that the murderer learned from their mistakes during the first assault.
Okay. Thanks for your input.
Think nothing of it. Happy to help.
What are your conclusions about Maya's murder?
Most obvious first. The cause of death is acute blood loss due to the multiple stab wounds to the chest and stomach, 2 of which were lethal. The murder weapon is a mid-sized blade, likely a knife of some kind. There are some defense wounds on her arms, so the victim likely tried to shield herself against her assailant. What else?
A bottle of mold. That combination makes...
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I couldn't recover any biological traces of the murderer. There's no blood on her that isn't hers, or any traces of skin under her nails. This makes me suspect that the killer likely wore protective clothing and gloves. The time of death was roughly 2300 hours last Tuesday, 5 days ago today.
So there's this locked door that I'm trying to get through.
Unless this door needs medical attention, I'd suggest asking someone else.
Do you know who Katarina Berg is?
I don't recognize that name. Nope.
That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie.
I don't see how... I already examined the body of... A bottle of molding resin. I can use this to cast different shapes. It might also work as a glue.
I'm sure we could use it that way, or do we have to just... Maybe we do have to just cut his finger off then.
I had some more things to ask.
Shoot.
What are your conclusions about Maya's murder?
Most obvious first. The cause of death is acute blood loss due to the multiple stab wounds to the chest and stomach, 2 of which were lethal. The murder weapon is a mid-sized blade, likely a knife of some kind. There are some defense wounds on her arms, so the victim likely tried to shield herself against her assailant. What else?
A razor-sharp surgery.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't recover any biological traces of the murderer. There's no blood on her that isn't hers, or any traces of skin under her nails. This makes me suspect that the killer likely wore protective clothing and gloves. The time of death was roughly 2300 hours last Tuesday, 5 days ago today.
That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie.
Oh wait, no, this way. Yeah, 6 digits in your pocket. Yeah, exactly. Was it 5, 3, 1, and then severed finger gets the job done.
Wow. How on earth did they manage to assemble all of this undetected? This is highly illegal. I'll have to report it as soon as I finish the murder investigation. Some kind of large tank. Looks like it opens. I wonder what's inside. There's a valve on this pipe here, labeled O2. Not sure what to do with it. Some kind of live output of technical information. I can't make sense of it. Odd-looking thing. No idea what it's for. There's a letter here. Hey, Kata. Or should I use your new alias? It's pretty ironic, since you're the least prudent person I know. JK. Anyhow, I'm sitting here alone, and it all feels so surreal. It's hard to believe that it won't be long now before we can let him out. He's ours, but not really. He truly belongs to the world. Bigger than the both of us, greater than the sum of our parts. Yeah, I can hear you saying, enough with the melancholy, Carl. We're so close now, we should be ecstatic. Anyway, I'm leaving this letter because I'm going away for a couple of weeks. My father passed away. I just got word and, well, I need to deal with things in the village. I'll be okay. We'll talk as soon as I get back. Love, Carl. The letter is dated about a month ago.
Okay.
Oh, just my luck. Like getting in here wasn't hard enough. I need more to go on before I can try guessing the password. Hello again, Constable.
Hello, Agent.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name before.
It's Gabriel Adamson, ma'am.
All right then. I had some questions, Gabriel.
Sure, let's hear it.
Do you know who Katarina Berg is?
Doesn't sound familiar, no.
What do you think of Commissary Anderson?
I have opinions about how he does things, but I keep those to myself. I respect the chain of command.
What do you think of Stina Ruth, the councilwoman?
The commissary is the only one at the station who has any regular contact with her. But my impression of her is good. She seems like a straight-up woman. Speaks her mind.
Did you know Maya Strand?
Not really. I knew of her, sure. Most people in Nordson do, because of her importance to the museum. I hardly ever even saw her around, though. From what I hear, she was a bit of a recluse.
What do you think of Walter, the robot guy?
Oh, he's great. My little brother loves him to death.
Yeah? He's popular with the kids?
You have no idea. He's quite the entertainer with that little robot of his.
What's your opinion on Dr. Pearson?
Do you mean professionally or personally?
Is there a difference?
I think he's a great doctor and coroner.
But?
Between you and me, he kind of rubs me the wrong way. All that fancy talk and those morbid jokes. It's almost like the recent deaths have cheered him up. But as I said, he does his job well.
I understand. Thanks. What can you tell me about yourself?
Not much to tell. I grew up here in Nordson, and all my family is here. The commissary is my uncle. He's always been the one who encouraged me to become a policeman.
So, how long have you been a cop?
8 years now.
Wow, 8? Must have started young.
Yep, started as a trainee at age 16.
I see. I found this in one of the drawers in the office.
Ah, well, feel free to use it if you think it can help the case.
No, this note is just a reminder to myself. I don't need to show it to anyone. I found this in Carl's coat. What do you make of it?
Not sure. But it's a bit strange that the person who wrote this couldn't just tell him face to face.
Maybe they didn't want to risk being seen together, or the note's author needed to leave in a hurry.
Yeah, could be.
What do you know about the murder in the museum?
I was first at the scene. Poor woman. Looked like she had regained consciousness after some time and tried to crawl to the door.
Sounds horrific. I don't envy her.
Okay, that's
Alright,
everything that we
I'm
can
off.
do for now.
Good luck
I
out
don't
there.
think we're going to really show them anything else. It's definitely not going to show anyone the severed finger. We're like, hey, look at this. It's a finger and a back.
I don't have any business in the school. Sounds like a class is in progress.
But what happens if you do it anyway?
Then policemen, or women, will come and arrest you.
Whoa. Harsh.
It's the law. We mustn't make things that can think for themselves.
But my parents created me, and I can think for myself. Did they break the law?
You make a good point, Alicia, but that's quite different.
Different how? I don't get why it's more dangerous to create a thinking machine than a thinking person.
You think too much, Allie.
No, that's good. You should always ask questions like these.
All right, Maya's place. Let's see if I can find any clues in here. Oddly dense cluster of prints on the corner of this panel here. A hidden safe. Locked, unfortunately, but there's the keyhole. It's a fit. Huh. Since this key was hidden by Carl, it looks like we have a clear connection between the two victims.
Definitely.
Let's have a look. A few bags of rare seeds, a bar of platinum, some coins, and a book. The book looks important. I'll take it. Maya must have hidden it here for a good reason. The title is The Conduit Codex. Now, wait a minute. This can't be the Conduit, can it? Those crazy zealots trying to resurrect AI? I think this case just got a lot more complicated. There was a written piece of paper used as a bookmark. I put it aside. Let's have a look in the book.
The bookmark I think was in here, so I think, am I right, the password is this one I think? Or is this?
This was used as a bookmark in the book I found in Maya's safe. It reads, Consul PW, think new Katerina.
Oh yeah, so it was Melinda.
My God.
Da-da-da-da-da-dun.
A live baby in a womb tank. What on earth are these people doing? I'm not sure how I feel about this. What the?
It's not too late. There'd be sacrifices, but it'd be worth it.
Yep, another baby in a tank.
That was unsettling. They did warn me about the side effects. I hope that was just a brief glitch in my blue. I need to go and report these findings to Stina. But I should probably make sure the tank is stable first. I don't like that blinking red light over there. Ugh, it's stuck. All right, it's loose now. The heart rate looks good now. I'll keep the valve in this position. All right, seems stable. I should get going. Agent England, reporting in.
Oh, there you are. How was your first day?
Well, it turns out that the second victim, Carl, was up to something. And whatever they were doing, I'm sure it's somehow connected to the killings.
Well, you got yourself one juicy case here. Those two lovebirds of yours just turned a double homicide into an anti-terrorism effort.
Shit, you're right. Do we need to call for backup?
Nah, you can always call in the local cops if anything big goes down.
I suppose. So how active is the conduit these days anyway? From what I was taught at the academy, they're practically a non-threat now.
Sure, we caught some of their head honchos, blew up a few strongholds, but it's hard to wipe out an ideology. All it takes is for a single book to remain in circulation, an idea to spring to life, and we're all back to square one.
The relentless stance against those people always puzzled me. Aren't our Augs technically AI?
Sounds like someone slept through the lectures on nanoscale distributed processing networks.
I most certainly didn't. I just found it to be a bit of a gray area.
Well, your Augs do not use CPU cores for processing. They rely entirely on your existing neurons.
Right, and since the nanites essentially piggyback on my brain, they're classified as a procedural system.
You got it. Perfectly legal. Enough about that. Let's get back to the case.
Sure. I found a functional womb tank in the apartment at Mimir Road. It had a living unborn child inside.
Oh. Artificial wombs are highly illegal. I'll have to notify our superiors.
There's more, Councilwoman. The tank fluid had traces of blue.
Really? Now, how the hell did they get that? Any concentrated vials?
Not that I could see.
Be on the lookout. They might have a stash somewhere.
I will. I wonder how the child fits into their agenda.
Good question, ain't it? Want to hazard a guess?
It's gotta be some kind of experiment, right?
Bingo. These people are fanatics. That's what they do.
So, what will happen to the child then?
That's not for you to worry about. I'll get word to the city, and they'll send someone within a week or so. Meanwhile, I'll have the apartment put under surveillance. I'll get someone discreet, in case the Lady of the Hour returns.
Understood.
So, what are your thoughts on the killer?
Could be a lone vigilante with opposing views to the conduit, picking them off one by one.
Could be. Either way, finding this gal who was hot and heavy with Carl should be your next task.
Agreed. I'll do my best to track her down tomorrow.
Good. Dismissed, Agent.
We already talked. I should get going.
Hey, pretty girl. Time to wake up.
Huh? Who's that?
It's me, silly. Who else? Were you expecting other men in your bedroom?
Oh, Alex. I had the strangest dream. I was on a murder case far away. In Nordsund, of all places.
Ooh, exciting. Was I there too?
No. You were gone. I didn't care much for that part.
Well, I'm here now. I thought I'd check on how you're doing.
Oh, you know me. Always trying to figure myself out.
Ain't that the truth? Sorry for waking you. I just needed to hear your voice.
That's all right. I'm gonna go back to sleep now. Good night, Alex.
Good night, Vera.
And I thought dreaming of Alex was a thing of the past. Might as well get rid of some of that clutter from yesterday. No point in carrying all that junk around. Ugh, my head. Something is happening. Whoa. My eyes feel great. Everything looks so sharp and clear.
Agent England. Good. You're up.
Morning, gentlemen.
We were just going to see if you were awake. There's been a freak accident of sorts.
It's probably best for you to see for yourself. The timing is quite suspicious, given the recent murders.
All right. Who is the victim?
Leonard Dahl, the head of our new recycling center. He was killed sometime during the night.
In a most gruesome manner, too. Gabriel will accompany you to the site.
Very well. Let's be on our way then.
Oh, but before you go, Agent, did you cut up one of the murder victims? Dr. Pearson is quite upset with you.
It was necessary. Dr. Pearson should prioritize the well-being of future murder victims over previous ones.
All right then, but please keep that sort of behavior to a minimum. Your jurisdiction doesn't mean you can do whatever you please.
I'll show restraint in the future, Commissary. Let's go, Gabriel.
Here we are. Have a look around. The man standing over there is our witness.
Got it. I'll let you know if I need any help.
Understood. I'll be here.
Thank God you're here. Len...
Slow down. Relax. You're safe. We're here to help. Start at the beginning.
Okay. The big organics processor. I woke up late last night, heard it fire up. I live next door, so I got dressed and walked in here. Leonard wasn't around, so I turned all the machines off. I went to look for him in his living quarters, but he wasn't there. I figured he was still out late with some of the guys and that the machines had sprung to life on their own somehow. I went back to bed and slept through the night. Didn't hear anything else. When I came back this morning to work just half an hour ago, Leonard was still gone. He's usually up and about way before my shift starts. I did a routine check of the organics processor and that's when I noticed his remains in there.
The victim is inside that machine?
Yes.
Could it have been an accident?
I don't know. God, I can't get it out of my head.
Please, try to calm down. Could it have been an accident?
It could, maybe he fell down in the pipe, and was torn to shreds. Oh, God, poor Leonard.
It's no use. He's having a panic attack. About half filled with God knows what. Pretty stinky. A few crates of different sizes. Maybe for transporting some of the recycled materials? Looks like the human remains are trapped behind the grinding gears.
Ew.
I don't think they can be moved manually. Post-mortem. This clearly wasn't an accident then. It was a disposal of a murder victim. I should try to get access to the remains behind the grinder. That looks like the ignition mechanism. I can see the yellow cable powering it. I tried pulling it loose, but it's stuck in there pretty good. Okay, the yellow cable is disconnected now. This says the machine works by grinding down organics into smaller chunks, and then burning them to create biogas. The control panel here can be used to retract the grinding gears and access the chamber, but the system waits for the latest batch to be incinerated first. A control panel for this machine. Looks turned off. I think that retracted the grinding gears. There was a small key among the remains. It must have been in the victim's pocket. Ugh, this is quite a mess. I'm not equipped to deal with this. I'll have to ask Dr. Pearson to come here and gather the body parts. Hey, Gabriel.
Yeah?
I've managed to secure the body. You're free to leave and get back to your other duties. The remains are in quite bad shape, so I think it's best if Dr. Pearson collects them.
Roger that, ma'am. I think the doctor has some medical emergency this morning, but he should be able to take care of it today or tomorrow.
Good. Tell him to bring it all to the morgue.
Will do. I'll go find him right away.
Can I leave too? I really need to go get a drink.
I suppose. I'll call for you if I come up with any more questions. Mostly history books and some fictional novels. Mostly history books. This is probably where Leonard handled all of the paperwork. Leonard's bed. Nothing out of the ordinary. All right, looks like these are the materials last put into the smelter. Various tools and lots of knives headed for recycling. Wow, I think I just found the weapon that killed Carl and Maya. No DNA or prints, so this knife must have been thoroughly cleaned.
Hi, honey.
No. Wait, what? It wasn't a dream? I must be going crazy. The blue is messing with my head.
That's one way to say hello. You doing okay there, darling?
Not really, Alex.
How can I help them? This is weird for me, too.
I have no idea. It's so strange seeing you like this.
Well, I'm here now. Maybe we should just try to make the best of it.
I guess so.
Great. So, how are you doing? Really?
Oh, you know, keeping
Go
it
away,
together.
hallucinations. We don't need you.
I thought taking on this case would give me a chance to get away from everything.
I get that. We went through a lot.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Well, I'll let you get back to the case. Let's talk later, all right?
Okay.
No, let's not talk later.
I must be losing my mind. A mural depicting some kind of abstract art. Hey there.
Hi. Whoa, badass coat.
Oh, thanks. Got it a week ago.
Right on. You need to get some patches and stickers and shit for it too. Give it some personality.
I might just do that. So, you're some kind of artist.
Yeah? What do you think?
Looks like two flowers hugging.
Huh. That's an interesting take.
Doesn't look functional. There's probably a staircase somewhere. Not sure what happened here, but it looks like old damage. Somebody swept up the glass on the outside, but didn't bother with actually repairing the windows. Maybe later. I don't feel an urge for a coffee break right now. I think that leads to a church of some kind. No reason to go up there at the moment. Not sure where that door leads. Some fairly advanced solar panels. Those alone should be capable of powering up several blocks. The junk piles extend some half a mile into the empty eastern part of town. I doubt they're being added to, though. Nordson residents seem conscientious about recycling. I don't have a reason to visit the junk heap right now. It's the key I found in the recycling center. Likely belonged to Leonard. Hello again, Gabriel.
Hey there, can I be of assistance?
What do you know about the conduit?
It's some fringe religious group, isn't it?
Yeah, terrorist classified.
Right. Are they tied to the case?
Sort of, but I'm still trying to figure out the details.
Understood. I'll let you know if I come across anything related to them.
So, it looks like Leonard's accident was a murder after all.
Seems so, yeah. We have to catch this psycho before he strikes again.
Agreed. Do you know who Katarina Berg is? She may also go by the name Melinda.
I don't know about Katarina, but Melinda? That's the name of the school teacher, I think. At least that's what I heard the kids call her outside.
Are you absolutely sure?
Positive. As far as I know, she's the only Melinda in Nordsund.
That's excellent news. If you see her, take her into custody immediately, and let your colleagues know to be on the lookout too.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you know about Leonard Dahl?
Nothing really. I never got to talk to him much.
What do you know about Melinda, the school teacher?
Not a lot. I've seen her around with the children, but that's about it.
I found this among Leonard's remains.
Ah, probably his key then. Unless the killer dropped it in there. In any case, I don't know what it opens.
What do you know about the conduit?
It's some fringe religion.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already been on this.
Sort of.
Understood.
All right, I'm off.
Good luck out there.
Just had to grab another cup of coffee, you know?
I guess Anderson has a colleague. A small local greenhouse. A typical site in Nordson, it seems. I had a few questions, Commissary.
By all means.
Oh. Okay. Is it hydrate? There we go.
Are you familiar with the conduit?
I believe so, yes. It's some old terrorist network connected to illegal technology, right?
Yes, exactly.
Wait. Don't tell me these murders are terrorist-related.
I can't say for sure, but if there's anything you can tell me, anything you've heard or seen.
I'll let you know.
I learned that Leonard's death wasn't an accident. He was placed in that machine after his death.
I suspected as much. Any leads on his killer?
No,
Nope.
but it would be a strange coincidence if there was no connection to Carl and Maya.
I concur. Thanks for the update. We remain at your disposal if you need help.
Do you know who Katarina Berg is, the school teacher? She also calls herself Melinda.
Sorry, I'm bad with names.
Don't even know the school teacher, even if you don't know her name? Oh. Not a very good commissary.
The robot maker.
He may be a little strange, that man, but he has a heart of gold. Nordson wouldn't be the same without him.
What do you think of Dr. Pearson?
Oh, he's a fine man. Sure, a bit eccentric, but a really good physician. Treated my knee way back. Good as new.
What do you think of Gabriel?
My nephew is a fine officer. He's a law and order kind of person. Stern, but fair.
Oh, law enforcement runs in the family.
I wish, but so far Gabriel and I are the only ones. I've been trying to get my son to join the force for years. All he cares about is girls and fishing. Suppose it could be worse. At least he brings home a fresh trout every now and then.
Did you know Leonard Dahl?
Not at all. I only first learned his name this morning.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
I don't think I need to look her up. I don't think I need to look him up. I don't think I need to look him up. I don't need to look that up. I don't need to look that up.
Okay, so we go to the school.
Looks like a few kids left some of their clothes here. Plenty of outdoor activities planned for the children. I don't need to rummage through that. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I doubt Katarina would hide anything in here. Too exposed. Various books and office supplies. I think the children grew these themselves. That's good, gives them some practical skills. Empty. Guess there are no classes today. Pictures of teachers and staff decorate the wall. Some are from way back when the school was founded. No names anywhere, though. There are a number of women here who could be Katarina, but it's hard to be sure without something specific to go on. Okay, let's see if I can find any similarities between any of these women and the picture I have. Oh, right here. Same brass necklace. This has got to be her. All right, I took the picture. Perhaps someone will recognize her. Looks disconnected. Probably not worth the energy. I don't have anything else to say to him.
Okay, so...
I don't want to share that. Do you recognize this woman?
Sure, that's Melinda. She's,
She's what?
she's just kinda cute is all.
Mm.
Hello again, Gabriel.
Hey there, can I be of assistance?
All right, I'm off.
Good luck out there.
Commissary?
Yes.
Do you recognize this woman?
That's the young teacher, isn't it?
Yes, I found the picture in the school.
I see. I don't know much else about her.
Horrible how much death has befallen us. I read that in a book once.
A fitting quote, considering the circumstances. I don't need to show her. I think that's for collecting the ashes after a cremation. Hi there. I see that there's been some progress with the fallen power line.
Yep, feel free to head in now.
Great, I'll do that later. This facility has been deemed compliant with the Third Decree, 12th Amendment, on November 4th, 79 AR. A regeneration pod kept people healthy and energetic. It's hard to think that most people had several of these in their homes once upon a time. The human wave was a loose affiliation of political and religious movements with the supreme goal of eradicating AI. It is widely considered to be the largest single cause of the collapse. Post-collapse, the movement continued its activities to some extent up to 4AR, but gradually lost its ability to maintain any larger operations due to the extensive deglobalization. Over time, the subgroups of the human wave splintered back into their original factions. Some, having accomplished their goals, ceased to exist completely. Others, like the Church of Epos, Earth Preservation Orthodox Society, were formed to find a new place in a post-collapse world. The collapse occurred on what we now refer to as Year Zero AR, Anno Reducto, Year of the Collapse. During this time, AI was involved intimately in every part of our lives. The typical family could not be sustained without it for more than a few weeks. A coalition of anti-technology, anti-globalist, and religious movements, referred to as the Human Wave, reached a critical mass due to a series of AI incidents across the globe. A growing fear of the singularity, mainly proposed by Voice for Human Progress, VFHP, was a contributing factor, as were proven hardware faults in widespread robotics across the globe. On June 2nd, the Third Decree UN resolution was passed, declaring that all AI was scheduled to be discontinued over a course of 10 years. An observant reader may notice that this definition is different from the Third Decree we live by today, wherein CPUs are completely outlawed. This is because the Third Decree has been amended 12 times. However, the phasing out period for AI did not proceed as planned, and we now enter an era in which there are large holes in our historical records. But we do know that there was a massive worldwide blackout, rendering most computer chips and processors in the world unusable. Contemporary scholars have theorized about what exactly caused this sudden change. If it was a deliberate large-scale attack, an unintended consequence of the ongoing shutdowns, or if there could be natural causes, such as solar flares. The evidence is scarce, and the lack of global communication and infrastructure, not to mention the struggle for daily survival, has made truth-seeking in this matter extraordinarily difficult. Regardless, the end result was clear. From that day, the old world was no more. In the dark, we took our first stumbling steps as truly free humans, surrounded by our mountains of dead machines. I'm pretty sure these were flown autonomously, and that some famous world leader got killed by hackers who took control of her vehicle. A terrorist group claimed responsibility, and there was a bloody civil war. No idea what this is. Must have been some kind of local thing. I remember reading about some military experiment gone haywire in these parts. Maybe this is it. Wow, this thing must have been fearsome back in the day.
Okay, so...
Looks like an old hovercraft. Nice and shiny. I can even see my reflection in it. Hi there, Walter.
Morning, miss. How was your first night in town?
Yeah, have a nice night's sleep? Well, I sure didn't. This numbnut forgot to unplug me, so I had to listen to his snoring for 9 hours.
I protest, Nissa. I hardly ever sleep for more than 7.
Oh, well, that makes it much less like torture.
I slept okay. The bed was a bit too soft for my taste, but I'll live.
Glad to hear it. So, what can I do for you today?
Do you know where I can find the school teacher, Melinda?
I'm not sure who that is. What does she look like?
Here, I found a good photo.
Oh, her. I sometimes spot her off the beaten path, actually.
You do? Where?
By the junk heap. Dunno what business she's got there, but I notice her sometimes when I collect parts. She thinks nobody sees her, all sneaky and quick. But I've got keen eyes.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Walter. What do you think of Dr. Pearson?
Quirky guy, but he means well. Sometimes he asks me to come over and help with the kids.
Oh yeah? Help how?
Usually by playing doctor and patient with Nissa. It helps calm down the little ones.
Ah, that's clever. What's your opinion on Gabriel, the policeman?
He's an asshole. That's what.
Nissa thinks that guy is robophobic. Don't ask.
Did you know Leonard Dahl?
A little. He came by every now and then, buying things for the recycling center. We've been talking about automating some of the work there.
Yeah? Anything out of the ordinary about him?
I wouldn't say so. He was a quiet, nice guy. A real shame what happened to him.
Do you know anything about this book?
Wow, a conduit book. That's crazy illegal, right?
Yep. Terrorist propaganda. Ever seen anything like it?
Never. I love my robots. Don't get me wrong, but those people are quite unhinged. Wouldn't go near them.
Maybe you already have. The Nordson cell has been hiding in plain sight.
Creepy. You better go catch them fast, then.
What do you think of the conduit?
Lunatics. Plain and simple.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, given what you do for a living.
Sure, I may seem like the kind of guy who would meddle with AI, but you have to remember that these are just puppets and dolls.
It's true. I'm not really a robot. We just pretend I am.
That's right, my lad. My family was almost wiped out in the collapse. I wouldn't betray their memory by supporting those nutjobs.
I guess you heard what happened in the recycling center.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but man, people dropping dead left and right like this, it's getting real scary out there.
I'm off. See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye, police lady.
Hey, you wanna go do something?
I'm tired.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
You wouldn't be tired if you ate breakfast.
Let's see here.
I feel sick in the morning.
It's a map of a secret hideout of some kind. Looks like the entrance is hidden behind a fridge in the east junk pile, just past the tunnel. Hey, kids.
Hey.
Theo, that's the lady that Miss M...
Shut up, Alicia.
Now, wait a minute. Alicia, is it? You know Miss M?
Of course we do, ma'am. We're kids. She's our teacher.
Yeah, we just know her from school and stuff.
Right. So you haven't seen Miss M around today, have you?
Nope.
Well, I have a few questions for you. Do you know what happened yesterday to a man named Carl?
My friend told me that somebody murdered him with a knife. I bet it was totally gross.
I bet you wouldn't say that if you saw it for real, Theo. You'd just be sad.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh? Just like when we found that dead bird.
Shut up! That was different.
Do you know what happened in the museum last week?
Miss M told us in school. She almost cried. I could see tears in her eyes.
My mom was totally freaked out that day. She had to work late again.
She does that a lot? What does she do?
She's the mayor. Every time something bad happens, she has to go and talk to the council.
I doubt these kids know anything about that. Do you know what happened in the recycling center today?
Did somebody get hurt? My mom said it wouldn't happen again. That they would get help from the city to get the bad guys.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the help.
Wow, they sent a girl?
Stop it, Theo. You always say stupid things and get us in trouble.
So Katerina is your teacher, right?
Nuh-uh. Our teacher's name is Melinda, but she prefers Miss M.
You know, I need to find Miss M really badly. Do you know where she would go if she was ever in trouble?
I don't know.
We have no idea, ma'am.
I think you know more. Now would be the time to tell me before you get into trouble.
There's nothing to say, lady.
But Theo...
Alicia, chill. We haven't done anything wrong.
I guess.
What do you think of Commissary Anderson?
He's okay, I guess. He came by the school once and talked about catching criminals and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. It sucks that there's no women in our police station, though.
I noticed. But it's not like that in most places. In the city, it's almost 50-50.
Really? Do you think I could be in the police one day? Like you?
Sure, kid. Nothing's stopping you.
Ha! When I become a policewoman, I'll arrest you all the time, Theo.
Oh, dream on!
Do you know who Stina Ruth is?
Yeah, she works with my mom. Stina is pretty cool. I like how she doesn't treat me like a kid.
I see. How does your mom like working with Stina?
I know they fight sometimes, but Mom says that's why she likes having Stina around. She doesn't like people who always agree.
Sounds like a good quality in a leader.
I guess.
So, did you guys ever hang out with Maya Strand?
Hang out? No way. She didn't really like kids.
She liked me sorta, but this one time, she got real angry with Alicia.
Oh yeah? Why?
I just wanted to try all her stupid stuff.
Alicia was like running around and pressing all the buttons, and Maya totally freaked out.
That sucked. I was just messing around and she started yelling at me.
Yeah, Maya used to be fun. When we were little, she'd talk about history and stuff.
Now she only talks to herself, like a crazy lady.
Not anymore. She's dead, Allie.
Okay, whatever. Sorry, I guess.
Do you guys know Walter?
Yeah, he's the best. Nisa is my favorite. Mom even made a cute hat for him once.
Yeah, and then Nissa said it looked like an old carpet had made some poo-poo. He's so funny.
What do you guys think of Dr. Pearson?
He's kind of weird, but nice. Every time I see him, he teaches me something new about the human body.
Yeah, he fixed my broken arm too. It's totally fine now. Look!
Oh, seems to have healed up nicely. What happened?
It totally wasn't my fault. I liked climbing and went up my favorite path in the junk heap, but somebody had messed it up, so I slipped.
Ouch. Better be more careful.
Yeah, I know.
Do you guys know Gabriel?
Yeah, he's a cop, but he doesn't have a gun like you do.
Policemen should have guns. My dad has like 4 of them, and he's just a baker, not a policeman.
Hey, can I hold your gun, lady?
In your dreams, kiddo. Do you know Leonard Dahl?
Who?
He was... Never mind. It doesn't matter. No need. I'm sure they know who Katerina is. I don't need to know their opinion on that. That's all I need, kids.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Cute outfit. Must have taken forever to knit. Old pre-collapse cars, likely stripped of all usable parts at this point. Old shipping containers, neatly stacked. They look fairly intact. Maybe this area used to be a loading dock and they precede the junk heap itself. Oh, there's some kind of switch under here. There we go. Can't get too close. That's really high voltage. I need to find someone who knows their way around electronics. I can see a small sign near the end of the cable. It says 230 volts to 240 volts. I'll write it down. It's a hefty pneumatic arm, used to push that refrigerator open. There's a sticker on the transformer it's connected to, saying 215 volts to 240 volts. I'll write it down.
Allie? Feeling rested yet?
Not really.
Hi again.
Hey there. What can I do you for?
Hey, do you know your way around electronics?
No way! He just happened to accidentally construct a store filled with robots. Let me guess, you flunked Deduction 101?
Don't mind him. Yes, I do know a thing or two about that.
Well, great. I need you to come with me to disconnect the power to a thing. A trap.
Oh, I'd love to help, but I can't leave the store like this. Got an important customer today. Why don't you check with Lisa over by the museum? She can probably help you out.
The woman who was fixing that broken power pole?
Yeah, that's her.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
I'm off. See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye, police lady.
Hey, there's an electrified fence in the junk heap. I'd like to disconnect it.
Oh, you should be able to do that from the power station just outside the entrance. Here, you can borrow this key to open the door.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
Ah, good. It still displays the expected voltage. When I have the voltage I want, I should be able to simply turn the main breaker back on, and that voltage will be fed to the grid.
Hmm. Do you think 5, 10, 15, yeah?
I think that's it. I should go check out the gate.
Yes.
Ugh, it's stuck.
Hmm.
Oh shit. Someone is hiding down there. She's too low. I can't get a good angle. Maybe I can figure out something else. She's too low. I'm not sure how that'll help. An armed person lying in ambush, potentially Katerina. I need to handle this very carefully.
Ah!
No sudden moves. Walk toward the cabin. Slowly.
Easy there, sister.
That's the
You got
stinky.
me.
So, you believe that the killer is after you now?
I know he is. He got Maya and Carl. I'm next, obviously.
Let's not forget Leonard Dahl. He was butchered this morning.
Leonard? The recycling guy? Jesus, I had no idea. That's odd.
Odd how?
Because, actually, I have to give you the whole story for it to make sense. Carl and I wanted a child, but I can't. I have viable eggs, but there are other complications.
My condolences. However, rotten luck doesn't mean you can break the law. Life isn't fair.
I didn't think you'd understand. We saw a chance and took it. So anyway, we came into contact with a woman called Maya Strand who claimed that she could help us have a baby. She'd built a replica of an old womb tank. Forbidden technology, of course.
I see. And what did she want in return?
Our help with some of her other shady experiments. The lady was somewhat frail. She couldn't handle much heavy labor. She eventually revealed that she was a self-proclaimed member of the Conduit. Probably figured we had too much to lose to turn her in. She was right.
Yes, I found the Conduit connection. Playing with fire.
Yeah, so Carl and I decided to play along until after the birth and then escape Nordsund as a family.
So you merely pretended to sympathize with Conduit beliefs, and then Maya was murdered.
Yes, EPOs did it, I'm sure. Those assholes must have found out.
EPOs. That rings a bell.
Earth Preservation Orthodox Society. Anti-tech group. You must have heard of them over at the Bureau. Used to be terrorist classified.
Oh yeah, I remember. So they have a church here in Nordsund?
Yep, near the old mall in Northtown. Big place. They get visitors from all over.
Why do you believe EPOs is responsible for the murders?
Who else? There's only one group still violently opposing the Conduit, and that is EPOS.
There's a hole in this murder theory, though. Leonard Dahl.
Oh, yeah. No idea how that guy fits into all this. Could be unrelated.
So you didn't know Leonard at all? He wasn't a member of your group?
Not as far as I know, but Maya kept us on a need-to-know basis. It's possible that she worked with him in some way.
If all of this is true, why did you take a new name when you came to Nordsund?
It's a long story, but I left a life that was pretty ugly. I had to escape an abusive boyfriend. I needed a fresh start here in Nordsund. The nickname thing just happened. It felt natural, and then, well, I guess it stuck.
That doesn't explain why your relationship with Carl was kept a secret, though.
Carl and I happened really fast. It wasn't so much intentionally kept a secret, it just never became a public thing. When we started collaborating with Maya, we obviously had all the more reason to keep things quiet.
Well, I'm going to give all of this some thought and report to my superior. I'll be back later if I come up with more questions.
Okay, before you go, just the womb tank. The nutrients must be running low by now. Without replenishment, he could be hurt. Even die.
Okay, when I leave, I'll go to the apartment and check on the baby. If there's a problem, where could I get more nutrients?
Maya always took care of that, so I'm not sure. My guess would be somewhere near the museum.
All right, I'll look into it.
You have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna head out now. Don't go too far.
I won't. And thanks, Vera. You're not like most city cops I've dealt with.
You're welcome. Stay alert. The killer is still out there.
I'll be careful.
Okay.
Path of the Pilgrim. Kind of an odd name for an exhibition about the collapse. This facility has been deemed compliant with the Third Decree, 12th Amendment, on November 4th, 79 AR. It shows various star constellations. Apparently the ones we planned to explore with some incredible new rocket engine that they were about to finish when the collapse happened.
I think this is the hint, isn't it? Yeah, there we go.
Whoa. Wow, impressive lab. There's gotta be a whole bunch of third-degree infractions in this place. Maya must have conducted her secret illegal experiments here. An electronic headset of some kind. Looks turned off. Herbal tea. Maybe from Maya's garden upstairs. This computer must require some kind of hardware key. A few different machines for working with audio. Looks like I can play audio tapes here. A big bucket filled with some kind of tubes. Good. I think this is what I need for the womb tank. Feels empty. Dirty laundry, presumably Maya's. Seems like she made herself comfortable down here. This place was set up to be private. Makes sense, given the circumstances. There were a couple of tapes here. It's one of the tapes I found in Maya's secret lab. It's labeled Huldra. It's one of the tapes I found in Maya's secret lab. It's dated about 1.5 years ago.
In a dream, I was summoned by the Acer. I had been chosen to create a new god, and her name was Huldra. She would be conjured in my mind, and the creed, at long last, would become manifest. I awoke in tears, and this vision has stuck with me ever since.
Oh, somebody's obviously got a bit
This
cuckoo.
woman doesn't sound very sane.
It's always cuckoo people, right?
An AI superintelligence would essentially be indistinguishable from a god. Infinite intelligence leads to infinite knowledge, and by extension, infinite power. Illness, suffering, even death itself could be turned into obsolete concepts. And what is a god, if not one who has reign over life and death?
Yeah, those are conduit ideas, all right. It smells awful. This must have been here since Maya was killed. Equations of some kind. I can't make sense of them. Various technical drawings. Some of them look similar to the womb tank. A wall filled with machines. There has to be plenty of illegal technology in here.
Okie dokie, Scumbucket, you have a good evening, and hopefully you get some good sleep. And I'll see you next time.
All right, all filled up. There's that red light again. Katerina was right. All right, red light gone. Must have done the trick. Looks like things are working out okay for you in there.
Makes you think, doesn't it? seeing a baby like this?
Yeah. It reminds me of everything that happened.
Get out of it, Alex.
Before.
Same here. But you know, it's not too late.
It is for you, Alex.
It is?
Well, yeah. You're dead.
I am, but you're not. You still have time to make up for what we lost.
I don't know. I'd like that, but the wounds are still fresh.
I know. I hope you'll find a way to heal soon.
Me too. Painful memories. I should head back to Stina.
Ancient England. Right on time.
Councilwoman?
Oh, stop it. That word always makes me feel old. Call me Stina.
All right then, Stina. I have some things to report.
Always straight to the point. You allergic to small talk, kiddo?
Sorry. Been a long day. I just want it to be over.
Well, suck it up. I need to vent. Had an argument with a friend today.
Yeah? What about?
Not important, but we ended up going our separate ways. Isn't it funny how quickly things can change?
I guess.
History, trust, respect. Poof. Gone.
Yeah, that's why we need to stay strong. For those moments when you've only got yourself to rely on.
Spoken like a true loner. I suppose I can somewhat relate.
So, I wanted to share something else. My augmentations grew stronger this morning. The blue is starting to adapt to my psychology.
Blossoming before my very eyes, are you? Do tell. What new things can you do?
My vision is improving. I can see much better in darkness and zoom in on distant targets.
Excellent. Quality recon allows you to engage the bad guys on your own terms. So, how was this recent experience of yours? Quite a ride for a rookie such as yourself, am I right?
I was well prepared. Didn't sleep through the whole training, you know.
Oh, am I being patronizing? Forgive me. I'm getting old and bitter. Missing the days when things felt new and exciting. Now, let's hear your report. I've heard rumors about quite a grisly spectacle in the recycling center. EPOS, huh? Those guys are gonna be a pain to deal with. First, they're well armed. Second, they got pulled with City Hall. Our beloved mayor recently granted their church embassy status.
Wait, what? So they're out of my jurisdiction?
Not quite. It's one of those legal limbos. Sure, you can force your way in without breaking any laws, but they also have the right to defend themselves from unsanctioned intruders.
That's absurd. In other words, they can gun me down without repercussions.
I wouldn't say that. It's kind of a hassle to dispose of your still warm corpse.
Like this case couldn't get any worse.
No. You're an agent. The creme de la creme of the Central Bureau. Time to act like one. Infiltrate and evade, remember? If you do find evidence that these nut jobs are responsible for the killings, we'll get a diplomatic warrant.
All right. I have to be discreet then, and try to get inside without arousing suspicion.
Bingo. And, well, hope they don't already know who you are. That would make things awkward.
Okay then. I'll get some rest and visit the church in the morning.
Good plan, Agent. Dismissed.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
You know, the story of Katerina and Carl reminds me so much of what we went through.
Yeah. Similar circumstances, but vastly different outcomes. It's fascinating how just a few variables can change everything.
Indeed. Are our lives nothing but a sum of interconnected parts? Does any meaning attributed to them simply stem from our limited human cognition?
Most likely. The observer bias seems insurmountable. Even the concept of meaning itself is relative.
It's scary to think about, that it could all be an illusion. Every relationship we had, everything we ever cared about.
It really is. This can't be healthy.
We need to tell Alex to go away. Leave you be.
There's that feeling again.
Oh? Invisibility? Ooh, nice.
Morning, Agent. Dr. Parison asked me to tell you to meet him in the morgue. He's done with the remains from the recycling center.
All right, thanks. I'll go have a look before I pay Epos a visit. Hello again, Gabriel.
Hey there, can I be of assistance?
What do you know about the Free Church of Epos?
We have a few members in the family, but I've never been there myself. Always felt uncomfortable in churches.
All right, I'm off.
Good luck out there.
I had a few questions, Commissary.
By all means.
What do you know about the Free Church of Epos?
Well, I'm no member myself, but my father was an Epos man.
Oh, really? What made you pick a different path?
I suppose I never had much faith in a higher power. I believe in humanity. That's enough for me.
What's your impression of the church, then?
Positive overall. From my point of view, they've always been a friendly group of people. Law-abiding and ready to lend a hand when the town needed it.
You must admit, the embassy status is quite suspicious, though.
Agreed. I opposed it at every turn. We should all be equal before the law. But in the end, it was a political matter and out of my hands.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
He looks sick. I shouldn't bother him.
Well, Leonard, it's been quite gross working with you. Oh, if it isn't the fantastic finger snatcher. Do I need to start frisking you for body parts?
That won't be necessary. I'm sorry, Doctor. I suppose I got a bit carried away.
Apology accepted. So, I've got a little present for you.
Is that so?
Yep, right here on this tray. If you're a fan of minced meat, I've got a bucket full of Leonard out back, too.
I think I'll pass on that one.
Good choice. The seasoning is subpar, to say the least.
You take your jokes way too far, Doctor. Now, what have you found?
Well, obviously, the poor man was shredded. Fortunately for him, it happened when he was already dead.
Yeah, I came to the same conclusion. Can you tell me anything about the cause of death?
Not much with the remains in this state. No signs of toxic substances, but that obviously still leaves a lot of options open.
Noted. So what's this in front of me?
Oh, yes. I noticed a pattern on Leonard's skin. Likely a tattoo. These are all the pieces I could find. Not sure how they fit together, but I kept them in case you wanted to have a look.
All right, I'll check them out. Huh. Looks like Leonard had this symbol tattooed on him. I'll copy it to my notebook. I had some more things to ask.
Shoot.
Are you familiar with the Conduit?
That old terrorist organization. What of it?
Well, have you ever heard about it still being around?
I'm sure the ideology still thrives in places. The lure of artificial intelligence will never be fully diminished.
Right, but you're not aware of anyone being more than a little interested.
If you're asking me, would I report a terrorist if I knew one, the answer is yes. But currently, I don't.
Okay, thanks. What's your opinion on the Free Church of Epos?
I try to steer clear of those people. Any form of superstition, religious or otherwise, is of no interest to me.
So this is how Leonard's tattoo turned out.
Interesting. What does it mean?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Looks like one of those runes Maya liked to litter the town with.
Oh, wait, that's her doing?
Yes. As I understand it, she was a major voice on the building committee.
Huh. I've been wondering where all those symbols came from.
Yeah. Me, personally, I like the aesthetic. I think it gives the town a distinct look.
Definitely. The tattoo doesn't look runic to me, though, but I'll keep your theory in mind. Do you know who Katarina Berg is, the school teacher? She also calls herself Melinda.
I know who she is, but that's about it. She's not a patient.
She's not? Even though you're the only doctor in town.
I wouldn't read too much into it. As far as I know, she's a young, healthy woman, and she moved here just a few years ago. She may not have needed any medical care since her arrival.
What do you think of Gabriel?
Your average policeman. I have no strong opinion about him, one way or the other.
What do you know about Leonard Dahl?
Polite and well-spoken fellow, judging by the few times I met with him.
All right. What did you meet with him about?
Well, typically just routine work when someone hurt themselves in the recycling center. Seems like a hazardous workplace. I hear about accidents occurring there almost on a weekly basis.
That's everything, isn't that right?
I shouldn't show him that. He might want it back. Do you know who this is?
Yes, that's Melinda, one of the teachers in the school next door.
I don't... That's enough questions for now.
Okie dokie.
Hello again, Gabriel.
Hey there, can I be of assistance?
Recognize this symbol?
Nope, never seen that before.
All right, I'm off.
Good luck out there.
My sketch of Leonard's tattoo. I had a few questions, Commissary.
By all means.
Do you recognize this symbol?
Doesn't look familiar to me.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
Okay. Well, we have got to that time, guys, where it is at the 3-hour mark, so we are going to call it for today's stream. And obviously, we'll be carrying this game on tomorrow. So, what we're going to do before we stop is we are going to find someone that we can go give a raid to. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. The next stream is going to be tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye, guys.